Now before we start today's video, it was suggested by Man in the Trench Coat that the Battle of Wakanda should be split into two. And this channel is a democracy, so we put it to a vote and most of you agreed. So we've made a couple changes to a few character scores. Tied for first is Captain America and Hulk at 75%, Shuri's at 67%, Thor is at 60%, and Black Panther's at 54%. So shout out to the Hulk for tying that top spot. But today, our focus is on the master of the mystical arts, Doctor Strange. Stephen Strange has faced a ton of foes in the MCU, but what's his win-loss ratio? Join me as we unravel the mystical battles of the Sorcerer Supreme. Well, Sorcerer Supreme for like 2 weeks. But without further ado, let's get started. Strange's first fight is technically a sparring match with Baron Mordo. The two train in combat while they discuss Caecilius. Mordo tells his whole backstory while Strange is in a chokehold listening. Then Mordo shows off a few magic relics before momentarily going crazy on Stephen.
Fight! Fight like your life depended on it!
He finishes it off with punching Strange to the ground. Sparring match or not, Mordo was standing over Strange in the end, so he has to hold this L. After Caecilius easily kills this black dude,
Damn, Daniel!
His attention turns towards Strange. Stephen, with his basic weapon knowledge, is able to cause a little damage to the Zealots before trying to escape. But he doesn't get too far as the Zealots start running on walls just to beat his ass. Then he's forced to play a game of slideshow. Strange is able to kick one of the wizards through the desert door and changes its location while fighting another, in which he does the same thing to. After that though, Caecilius is on his ass. He starts kicking Strange through so many panes of glass that I got John Wick flashbacks. But his mistake was breaking the cloak of levitation free as it starts to protect Stephen, and even saves him from falling down a flight of stairs. It then leads Doctor Strange to another relic, but Strange tries to go for the axis. But the cloak ain't having that shit as it does everything in its power to force Strange to focus on that true weapon. This thing that I honestly couldn't find the name of. But Strange throws it on Caecilius, locking him into place. I'm gonna say this is where the battle ends, making Doctor Strange the victor. His next battle happens shortly after. Stephen gets completely distracted talking to Caecilius and gets surprise stabbed by another disciple. Cloak couldn't block that one, huh? Nah, instead it likes to make a dramatic appearance as it waits until the warlock is ready to kill Stephen before jumping in. But I gotta say, Cloak of Levitation got hands for real. And it starts beating the shit out of that dark magician while Strange tries to escape. But the Zealot is still on the chase as the astral projects to get to Doctor Strange. And when he finds Stephen, the two go at it. I'm assuming spells can only work with a physical body because they're really just sticking to hands with this one. And unfortunately, throwing hands isn't Doctor Strange's strong suit as the evil paladin is clearly winning this fight and proceeds to kick the life out of Stephen.
Ain't no way!
Christine, not really knowing what's going on, hits Doctor Strange with a defibrillator, inadvertently causing a magic burst from him. He tells her to do it again, but with more power. Then he grabs the Zealot and yells, "Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!" before performing his final explosion, completely destroying the Zealot spirit. And if you die in the spirit realm, you die in real life. So bro's out of here and Stephen wins. In his third battle in the same goddamn day, Strange and Mordo go to stop Caecilius from blowing up the New York Sanctum. Right before Caecilius can, Strange pulls them all into the mirror dimension. That's only a temporary fix because Caecilius is stronger in the mirror dimension and is on the hunt for Doctor Strange, who stole the sling ring. Strange is trying to open portals to escape, but each time he does, Caecilius bends the dimension to his will and stops him from getting there. Their chase continues and we get some cool effects in this freaky ass dimension. But Caecilius ends up catching Stephen and getting his ring back. But before he can finish him off, the Ancient One arrives to save the day. But since this isn't her battle, let's get to see how it ends. Now sure, Strange mostly ran and the Ancient One received an environmental fatality, but the objective was really to protect the Sanctum Sanctorum, and they did, so I'll say the objective was complete for Mr. Doctor. Once Caecilius sets his sights on the Hong Kong Sanctum,
I forgot what time it is. I'm in Hong Kong. If they looking for me, tell them that I'm long gone.
Strange and Mordo go to stop him. In his fourth battle in one day, holy shit, Strange reverses time right before Caecilius can stab him. That doesn't hold him for long as he and the Zealots break free. They start battling forward in time while everyone else is moving backwards. their battle continues until Mordo is able to trap Caecilius into one of the nearby walls as it builds back up around him. They also inadvertently save Wong from being impaled and crushed to death. That sounds like a grade F way to go out if I've ever heard one. Caecilius wasn't defeated enough though and ends up breaking Doctor Strange's spell. Now everything around them is frozen in time. Strange then comes up with an idea and pieces out into the dark dimension. That's where he meets the wavy face entity known as Dormammu. Strange tells Dormammu he's come to bargain and then fucking dies.
Well, there you have it. That's our story.
Strange is
dead. Good night.
But that's when time reverts and Strange tells Dormammu he's come to bargain. Dormammu starts to realize something's off, but he decides to kill Strange anyway. And that's when Strange tells Dormammu he's come to bargain. Dormammu definitely knows something's up, and Strange reveals he's put them in a time loop. Now furious, Dormammu continuously kills Steven, but he always comes back and tells Dormammu he's come to bargain. After what felt like an eternity, but was probably only like 20 minutes, Dormammu can't take this shit no more. That's when Strange uses the power of bargaining to save his world and destroy the Zealots. Unfortunately losing Mordo as an ally in the process. But Strange surely hasn't seen the last of sorcerers, as his next battle is against a sorcerer from another planet. So Thanos' black kids arrive on Earth for the Infinity Stones, and it just so happens that there's one around Doctor Strange's neck. So while Cull Obsidian is going after Iron Man, aka the greatest superhero ever, shout out to Jack Hilton 419, Ebony Maw is facing Strange and Wong. Maw sends brick spikes after Strange, and the duo counters with the magic equivalent of no you. Strange busts out that signature magic whip, but it ends up backfiring as Maw traps Strange into a wall. It tries to get the stone, but burns his hand on Strange's defensive spell. After getting thrown into a mail truck, Steven tries to use the stone, but gets wrapped up before he can get the spell off. Afterwards, he gets choked out and carried away. But the Cloak of Levitation is on a mission to show why it's the greatest assist trophy of all time, as it flies Doctor Strange out of stranger danger. Not long after, the Maw separates the cloak from Doctor Strange and beams him and Spider-Man into the flying donut. So unfortunately, Doctor Strange, you lose this one. After Iron Man and Spider-Man save Doctor Strange from Ebony Maw, Star-Lord and the Guardians show up to blindly attack the Avengers. The Cloak, always ready for war, springs into action and tries to suffocate Drax. But as quickly as it starts, it ends as the superheroes try using their words for a change and realize they're on the same team, ending it in a draw. When they make it to Titan, Doctor Strange distracts Thanos so Tony can drop a building on his face. He's next seen going at Thanos with the help of Drax. But let's be honest, Drax wasn't really much help. He then teams up with Star-Lord to strap a bomb on Thanos' back. The best teammate since Captain America then goes in to keep Thanos' fist open as Strange assists Spider-Man.
Magic! More magic! Magic with a kick! Magic with a... Insect.
After that, the team initiates their plan to get the gauntlet, and they execute it to near perfection. But Star-Lord does the equivalent of fumbling at the goal line as Thanos completely turns the tide of the battle. Strange and Thanos then go head up against each other. They're launching attack after attack, each one countering the other. Doctor Strange's battles are always a visual spectacle, and this one's no different. I love magic battles in general though. I'm like that kid on The Incredibles when it comes to it. But there comes a point where Thanos is just too much and is able to get a hold of Doctor Strange and knock him out. He comes to before Thanos can kill Iron Man and exchanges his life for the Time Stone. And unfortunately, Thanos goes on to complete his mission and snaps Strange and half of life out of existence. After the OGs complete the mission to bring everyone back, there's only one more problem that they have to attend to. But try as they might, they just can't kill the Mad Titan. But that's when Doctor Strange and all the armies that apparently he and Wong set up show up for the final battle with Thanos.
Avengers! Assemble.
There's so many people in this battle that we really don't see much of Doctor Strange. There's one time where he sends a group of enemies to God knows where, most likely somewhere horrific, before telling Iron Man that he's not telling them shit about the future.
You said 1 out of 14 million we win, yeah? Tell me this is it.
Shut the fuck up, bitch!
Other than that though, he's mainly on floodgate duty, up until he uses his shaky ass hand to tell Tony that now's the time to make the sacrifice play. And so, that's what Tony does. Now I can't show this fight for obvious reasons, but if you've seen my Spider-Man video, then you know how this goes. And if you haven't seen my Spider-Man video, then watch my Spider-Man video. But to make a long story short, this was a loss for Doctor Strange, and really the only time he fought in this movie, so let's move on. In an alternate dimension, Doctor Strange is helping America Chavez escape from a monster we're not supposed to know that Wanda sent yet. Strange is doing his best to keep the monster at bay while they go for the Book of Ashanti. The monster gets a good stab in before Strange traps it into a barrier spell. Steven then decides the best approach might be to take America's powers for himself. He ends up distracting himself long enough for the creature to get a fatal blow on Steven. Nice job, bro. As America opens up a portal to escape the monster's grasp, Strange casts one final spell to break her free. Now they didn't get the book, but they were mainly trying to not let it get her powers by any means. So since she escaped, I'm gonna give Strange a victory. However, if you don't want to count this fight on the technicality of this isn't our universe's Strange, then that's cool, I understand. After Strange watches the love of his life marry someone else, fake Shumagorav starts attacking the city trying to get to America. He breaks open the bus to save her, then closes it on one of Gargantua's tentacles and smashes him with it, and is promptly thrown into a decor shop as a thank you. After the cloak again does his job for him, Strange springs back into action to save the Sorcerer Supreme. Steven then gets wrapped up by Not Shuma, leaving America to take a wide open attack. Then the cloak jumps in to blind the monster long enough for Strange to summon some otherworldly shit to stab the monster through the eye and rip it out.
Gross!
Strange then gets America down and saves the day. Wanda declares an attack on Carmitage, leaving Doctor Strange and the other sorcerers to defend America and their home. Wanda starts off with a reasonable enough attack, but is stopped by the magic shield. That's when the sorcerer failed to fortify their minds, so she breaks in. While Wanda just completely wrecks Carmitage, which is completely reasonable by the way. Strange is more so falling back. He does trap her in the mirror dimension for a second though. But Scarlet Sadako ends up breaking out all too easy.
I know, man, if you seen this shit.
Doctor Strange the Monster Hunter then summons a Hydra to attack Wanda, and Wanda throws Strange into a pillar. But before Scarlet Witch can extract America's powers, she summons a portal and Doctor Strange knocks the two of them into it. They fall through countless amounts of dimensions until they end up on Earth 838. And since they escaped with America's powers intact, I'd say that this is a win. So Strange baits Mordo into fighting him so he can break free. And it works. The power of words is really effective against Carl apparently. While Strange has to fight while being handcuffed, Mordo tries to cut him down with his magic sword. Mordo thinks he has him where he wants him, but that's when Steven clamps his recently free restraint onto him, eliminating his magic. Now that they're both powerless, it's time to get to the good hands. Mordo starts off on the offensive, but Strange is able to counter most of his moves. Then Strange is able to find an opening to escape, leaving Mordo stuck holding the cell. Once Doctor Strange beats Mordo and Dreamwalking Wanda reasonably kills everyone else in the Illuminati, the chase is back on. Strange tries to flood the tunnel on Wanda and escape to the Book of Ashanti. He bought enough time to reach the book, but not enough time to actually use it as Wanda drags America back by her hair and sends back a spell sent by Strange, burning the book in the process. All of that for nothing. Wanda then opens up a portal and sends Steven and Christine through it, before opening one to her prime self to send America through it. Now trapped in a near-destroyed world, Doctor Strange has to find a way to get back home. In the Sanctum Sanctorum, Steven meets up with himself to try to get the Darkhold from him. Sinister Strange decides he can have the book if he gives up Christine, and Steven says to hell with that. And that's when the two get to scrapping. Doctor Strange starts off with his go-to move, but Evil Strange uses it against him. That's when Doctor Strange comes up with the idea to fight with the power of music. His barrage of notes start to do some damage to Sinister Strange, so he uses his own form of music magic to counter. The battle of the bands gets pretty intense and they have a symphonic power struggle. As Sinister Strange grabs the Darkhold, Doctor Strange uses the Harp of Destiny and blasts him out the window. Giving our Doctor Strange another victory, and a defeat for Sinister Strange.
For you, I bleed myself.
In his final battle, Doctor Strange possesses his alternate dead self to save America. After taming the souls of the damned, Zombie Strange easily takes out the Elder Beast. Then he sends the souls to capture Wanda. And while they're succeeding at scaring the shit out of her, they can only contain her momentarily, long enough for Strange to give America a pep talk to control her powers. Once the Scarlet Witch breaks free from Wong, she makes a beeline for Strange. She took her eyes off of America long enough for her to surprise attack Wanda with dimensional punches, but knowing that she can't win, she punches Wanda into a dimension with her children. She causes Wanda to realize how horrible she's been, and Wanda decides to end it all, including herself. So technically Strange wins again, and once America finds him, he continues on with life, seemingly happy for a change. Or maybe not. As it turns out, Three-Eyed Strange caused an incursion, and it's up to him and Charlize Theron to save the multiverse.
Not in the least.
Now it's time to tally up the score. In the 17 battles that Doctor Strange has been in, including his mirror match, he's won 11, lost 6, and had 1 draw. That's a win percentage of 63.88%, rounded up to 64%. Doctor Strange cracks the top 5 for now, but how long will that last? We might be finding out pretty soon. But that's gonna be all for today. My next character is gonna be Black Widow, but my next video is probably gonna be me trying to beat Elden Ring as Thor. So I hope you guys check that out too. If you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe because we got a ton more characters to go over. But thank you guys for watching. Let me know what win-loss ratio you guys came up with. Rest in peace to the Ancient One, and I'll catch y'all next time.